And this is the best loop engineering setup for stock analysis so far, right? So make sure that you follow. Hey guys, welcome back to the Wing Lab. So in this video, I will go through what exactly is loop engineering and how we can build it for stock analysis using Claude Projects. So first of all, I have been searching intensively and watch tons of YouTube videos trying to figure out and to learn what exactly is loop engineering. But the thing is that the more I watch, the more I confuse, right? So after spending the weekends, I've come with a conclusion of what loop engineering really is, and also build my own loop engineering for stock analysis. All right, so in this video, I will share everything that I have learned, and you will also get to learn how to build your own loop engineering for stock analysis. Before we start, remember to subscribe to my community where it helps long-term investors to reach companies 10x clearer and sharper with AI, and you also get to discover practical AI flow, skills, and prompt to cut through the noise and make clearer investment decisions. So what exactly is loop engineering? So loop engineering means designing your AI work as a repeatable feedback loop instead of a one-shot prompt. So rather than asking, analyze this stock or analyze NVIDIA or Maybank whatsoever, once and accepting whatever comes back, you build a cycle that runs again, and again, tightening each pass through input. So you feed the AI a defined piece, example like a filing, earning calls, a metric set, and then it reads and it gives you the outputs. Interrogate, if you challenge it, what did it miss, right? So what the bear case and what assumption is it leaning on, right? And then it will refine and rerun again and feed those answers back in the loop and run it again and again and again, right? So each loop compounds. So the analysis on a company is far sharper than the first one. The engineering part is that the loop is deliberate and structured, fixed steps, fixed questions rather than an ad hoc. So you get consistent depth on every company instead of just relying on luck with a single clever prompt or skill, right? So when applied to stocks, right, a loop might be summarize the business, then stress test the thesis. After that, decode the latest earnings. Next, check macro, supply chain exposure, then score against your criteria and journal what changed. And then you just repeat the same loop on the next quarter. And for stock investment, right, there are 5 loop engineering that you must know in stock investing, right? So the first one, loop number 1, deep dive, which this loop will force the answer to keep going deeper instead of stopping at the obvious. So you truly understand how does the business really work and not just the headline. Loop number 2, bear hunt. So pit the bull case against the bear case until only the real risk survive. Okay, so you see what could actually break the stock before you invest. Look number 3, number check. So it will recheck every figure against the reports and flags what can be confirmed. So your analysis rests on verified facts, not confidence sounding guesses, right? Look number 4, peer context. So if you compare every metrics against rival and against last year, so you know whether a number is genuinely good or just average dressed up, right? Number 5, which is super important, which is the decisions loop engineering. Argue both verdicts until the call stops flipping. So your final buy hold pass is a tested convictions and not just like coin toss, right? So the true line is that each loops kill a different weakness, shallow thinking, bias, bad data, no context, and indecisions. And if you run the ones you need, and the answer gets sharper from every single angle, right? And to set your loop engineering, these are the following steps, right? Let's follow. So first of all, go to your Claude Projects and open up a new project. So we are going to build everything inside a new project to keep things organized and clean. And this is the best loop engineering setup for stock analysis so far, right? So make sure that you follow. So give it a name and what you're trying to achieve. So the whole purpose of this loop engineering for stock analysis is so that I can have a much more clearer and sharper analysis on stock. All right, so just write this in. And when this is done, next, this is super important as it will determine how sharp and clear is your analysis. So this instruction is a universal instruction for everything in this loop engineering each time you ask for analysis. So this file here is the whole structure of the loop engineering. If this goes wrong, your loop engineering's outputs will go wrong too. Right, so make sure you get this right. Rubbish in, rubbish out. But do not worry, I already prepared all this file for you. All you have to do is just download from here. Right, so I have been using this loop for the past week and it works super well. So make sure that you follow through. And for the instruction, just copy this file here and paste it in. So this loop master template is the master instruction that makes this loop engineering works. Therefore, it is super important to make sure your master template is right? Next, it will be the 5 loops that all investors need to have for loop engineering stock analysis. Again, do not stress out, all right? I already done all the work for you. You just need to download it and upload to your Claude, all right, in this link. So when this is done, you are set to go. Let's try it out. So I'm going to run through the 7 stages of loop engineering. And over here, I have my NVIDIA financial reports. So all I have to do is just upload to my Claude and ask it to run the 7 stage of loop engineering, right? So what it does is that it will run the 7 stages of the loop in sequence for me, which is feed, analyze, challenge, verify, refine, decide, and save as node. Right, so let's see the result. It has the 4 legends to analyze NVIDIA, and on stage 6, it gives you a suggestion as well. And lastly, it generates a notes file for NVIDIA. And this serves as a memory so that it can improve and sharpen its outputs when you ask NVIDIA in the future, maybe on the next quarter, right? Or on your next analysis. And to keep this memory for improvements, all you need to do is just download it and upload on the file sections, right? Now, let's ask a follow-up question and challenge it with one of our loop engineering commands. Let's try the bear hunt loop. So this loop pits the bull case against the bear case until only the real risk survive. So you see what could actually break the stock before you buy, right? So it gives a few rounds of discussions over here and it gives you a conclusion at the end of the output. So this really helps a lot, especially when you need to have a clearer and sharper stock analysis, right? So how should we organize each of this loop so that it will not be messy, right? So in the span of maybe like 12 months, right, we might ask 10 or 15, 10 to 50 stocks. So it will be confusing and messy if you put everything in one chat and if you do not know how to organize all of this data, right? So to organize our analyzed results, right, the output, each chat represents one stock, right? So what I will do is rename this chat based on the stock that I analyzed. So this is NVIDIA, right? Then I will just rename as NVIDIA because we use this for NVIDIA stock analysis, right? Analysis. So every time when I want to do a stock analysis on NVIDIA, I will come back to this chat over here, right? Next, when I want to do a second loop, right, on a different stocks, I will just open up on a new chat. I'll do it on a new chat, right? Example, Micron. So I want to run the number check loop. So I name this chat as Micron. So every time when I want to do a checkout on Micron, right, I will just use back this chat. So next time when I want to do a follow-up on Micron, you know, or any Micron's relevance analysis, I will use back this chat box over here, okay? So I name it as Micron. All right, so this is how you set up the loop engineering using Claude. And if you learned something new in this video, make sure that you subscribe, right? So I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.